In today's video, we are going to compare two completely different products with a very similar set of features. Today we are going to be discussing the Sony XM5s and the Apple AirPod Pro 2s. There is a lot of similarities between these two products, but there's also some key differences you should be aware of if you are thinking about buying either. And why am I even comparing them? Well, let's find out, shall we? My name is UK. Let's just get right into it. Okay, the economy sucks. Everybody's broke. Nobody can afford to buy one of everything in this day and age. I get it. I've used both the Sony XM5 over-ear headphones and the Apple AirPod Pro 2s for almost 2 years now, and this is my no-nonsense, no BS overview comparison of what I think of both of these headphones and which one I recommend if you could only pick one. So let's just jump right in with number one, the price. AirPods, second gen, still available on Amazon or Apple website, $179. You can buy them refurbished for I think $150. Sony XM5s, currently $328 on Amazon. I believe you can get these cheaper elsewhere, like eBay, even new from eBay. Battery life. The Sony XM5s, they have a claimed 30-hour battery life with a fast charge system where if you plug it in with a fast charge enabled device, you will get, I believe it is 3-minute charge for 3 hours of music. I haven't tested this because these just always last me forever and I just charge them randomly whenever I need to. AirPods, you're going to get about 6 hours with ANC enabled, and the case is going to give you up to 30 hours depending on your usage. I just throw these on the wireless charger. Away we go. When it comes to transparency, both headphones have a really good transparency feature where if you're in a office environment or you're out and about and you need to be aware of your surroundings, you can listen to music at pretty high volumes, but still be aware of oncoming traffic or co-workers coming and trying to talk to you. The transparency mode on both of these devices works fantastically. One caveat, the Sony XM5s, here if you have somebody drop something like a plate or a dog bark close to you, what will happen is the Sonys will try and cut out that really loud noise that happens through its ANC while you're in transparency mode. This can be quite jarring. Apple AirPods Pro 2 don't really do this. So if I had to give an edge, it would be to the AirPod Pro 2 in the transparency regard. Both of these headphones have active noise cancelling, and it works as you would expect on both devices almost flawlessly. The Apple AirPod Pro 2 are renowned for having some of the best noise cancelling, active noise cancelling on the market, and I can't argue with this. They've been fantastic. The best part about the AirPods with the noise cancelling for me is when I put them in and I turn it on, after 5 minutes, I completely forget I'm wearing headphones. It's an immersive experience. You're not really going to get that with over-the-ear headphones, while the ANC works probably just as well on the XM5s. You're not going to get that like full immersion, forget you're wearing, because they're obviously bigger, heavier, and they do create some pressure. But for as far as the ANC goes, 10 out of 10 on both devices. They both handle this flawlessly every time without question. Now onto sound quality. Well, the AirPods are shockingly good for the size, and especially in comparison to an over-the-ear headphone. They have tiny drivers. They can only push a small amount of air, and they sound really good. They are neutral sounding to me. I would say they maybe are a little bit bright. The XM5s are bass heavy. This is, I think, a Sony thing. I think this goes back to the 90s when everybody listened to like techno music. I remember Sony released the extra bass bass boost function on all of their lineup. I remember having a Walkman and some headphones, and everything had bass boost or some kind of bass related nonsense on it. However, every Sony product I've ever tried out of the box has come with a little bit of bias towards the bass, and these are no exception. These do feel a little bit bass heavy. So sound quality wise though, these headphones are at the top end of their respective manufacturer's lineup. So the AirPods Pro 2 are at the top end of the AirPod range. The XM5s are supposed to be the newest and greatest from the Sony lineup. So you're going to get good sound quality with both. If you like just neutral, maybe a slightly bright sound, the AirPods do that really well in my opinion. If you're really into your bass and you want even more of it and more control over it, then the XM5s out of the box, they are going to do that great for you. Something else you should take into consideration when you are looking at these headphones is their codec support and their high-res audio compatibility. The Sony XM5s are high-res audio certified. They use an LDAC codec. If you have something like Tidal or lossless audio from somewhere, you're going to get a higher quality sound from the XM5s. However, sound quality and high-res audio and a lot of these things are really subjective. And I'm going to be brutally honest, I'm getting on a bit now. My ears aren't what they used to be. And can I really tell a difference between a lossless audio file and say a high quality Spotify premium streaming track? No, I really can't tell the difference. I thought I could back in the day when I ventured down the audiophile route. That was a crazy rabbit hole. I don't suggest any of you go down there. But I really struggle to pick up the nuances of what high-res audio brings to the table. And that's just me, my old ears, and my ability to, pick up details and things that should be there and you should be able to hear through high-res and through lossless with the LDAC codec. Just something to note that the XM5s have that the AirPods Pro 2 don't. Let's go over the build quality. When it comes to build quality of the Sony XM5s, these things, when you get them, you think, wow, there's a lot of plastic. It's all plastic. Everything is very, very plasticky feeling, which doesn't inspire confidence. When you first get these out of the box, you're a little bit worried. Let me tell you, I've used these for about 2 years now. These have been manhandled. These have been chucked around, tossed around, thrown on my desk, angered, you name it, and shockingly hold up incredibly well. These are, besides the pad swap, and I'll talk about that in a second, these are really, durable headphones. And I wasn't expecting that. Out of the box, I wasn't expecting the durability. When it comes to AirPods, you can drop these, you can throw these, you can, do whatever you want with the AirPods. I have used, abused, loved, dropped, banged, knocked, you name it, the AirPod Pro 2nd gens, and I've never had an issue. It's build quality is as good as you're going to get for a pair of wireless earbuds, if not better. Apple, the case is fantastic. Survived many drops. The hinge still works, survived many drops. We're talking 2 years of daily use. No issues whatsoever with the build quality, and the same thing for the buds themselves. Let's talk a little bit about aesthetic. This absolutely isn't important to me, but it may be to you. The Sony XM5s, yeah, they're interesting design. I've got a really odd shaped head. Probably can't tell on the camera, but when I put over-ear headphones on, look like a robot almost. These things, I always feel like they look absolutely massive on my head and I look like a goober. I don't care about these things, but something to take into account when you wear the Sony XM5s over-ear headphones. I mean, these things They are chunky. The design of them is, I'll leave that to you. When it comes to the Apple AirPods, you wear an AirPod. Everybody knows you're wearing an AirPod. Nice and discreet. I don't know. If aesthetics mean anything to you, that's my opinion on the aesthetic difference. Okay, touch gestures. Now, both devices have touch controls. The AirPods, you can swipe or squeeze on the individual earbud. On the XM5, you have a swipe panel. Now, this is only on one cup. It is only on the right cup. So if you are doing something with your right hand, I'll give you an example and how this affected me. Say you're walking your dog and you hold the leash with your right hand and you want to then control your volume, skip, pause, mute, all that stuff. You're going to be reaching around. It's only available on one of these ear cups, the right ear cup. Whereas the AirPod Pros, you can control the touch controls, the little sliders. There we go. You have the little sliders on both AirPod. You can control the volume, play, pause, all that good stuff on either side. So if one of your hands is full, both sides work. When it comes to the reliability, you're going to have, mixed opinions on this. The Sony XM5 touch controls, the swiping, the steps are way too small. So if you wanted to increase the volume, you're going to be like this for a minute. But the same can be said for the AirPod Pro 2nd gen. The steps, I believe, should be bigger increments, so you can adjust the volume up and down a little bit quicker. There have been times where I've been, it sometimes doesn't register. So you'll be sat, with your headphones on, and every time you get more frustrated with it, it works less. So something to take into note. They both do have touch controls. Your mileage may vary. Let's talk about comfort real quick. I have always, my whole life, struggled with in-ear earbuds. I had, prior to the AirPods, I had the Google Pixel Buds Pro. The left one would always fall out. Didn't matter what tips I used. I even bought third-party tips. The left one would always fall out. I have slightly different sized ear canals. Usually what this meant, when I used the Galaxy Buds, for example, I would use one small and one medium tip, and that would kind of work. However, after a period of time, like say a bit of exercise or a bit of movement, the left one would typically fall out. The design of the AirPods makes these, for me, the comfiest headphones I've ever used. I put these in, I'm using the small tips for the AirPods. I put these in, they go in, stay in, and never come out. I can do exercise, I can run with my dog, I can do, whatever it is. They do not come out. I can wear the AirPod Pros 2 for easily 6-8 hours, full day, until the battery dies. Complete bliss. Most comfortable headphones I have ever used, ever, period. XM5s, the stock pads are truly gorgeous. The problem is I got these in white, and I immediately regretted that because the inside here would discolor almost immediately within a week of usage. But if you get the XM5s in white, the inside of the ear cup is also a white color, and it discolors and looks kind of gross. I pad swapped, and it wasn't for comfort at all. The stock pads are comfier than these aftermarket pads by a lot. The stock pads, I get these in black with the stock pads, way more comfortable. However, if you're prone to pressure, if you're prone to having pressure in one ear over another, especially over extended use, I've suffered that after maybe 2 hours, a heavy gaming session or something. I get pressure buildup. I literally have to take these off for a little while. These also cause a little bit of fatigue to my ears. Just throwing that out there. They are incredibly comfortable with the stock pads. I'm sure my case is a little bit different to yours because my head is a bit goofy. I have a weird shape. I have big ears. Like, take this with a grain of salt. If you are prone to fatigue from wearing headphones, especially for periods of time, if you don't like your ears getting hot, wearing headphones, especially for a long period of time, I have found that with the XM5. Otherwise, they're super comfortable. Really happy I can wear them for periods of time, just nowhere near as comfortably as if I wanted to go into a long session than the AirPod Pro 2. Equalizers. The Sony XM5 come with a mobile app which you can install on your phone and control everything about the headphones, including an EQ. You can EQ the XM5s to your heart's content. The AirPod Pro 2, no such thing. You're kind of stuck with the sound profile. There may be third-party apps out there that will allow you to EQ, but I don't really typically mess with EQ with headphones. Again, this is just because my ears are probably a little bit older than your ears. My hearing ability is probably not quite as astute as it used to be. So out of the box, the AirPods worked for me. They sounded great for me. I could tell they were a little bit bright, but I love that. I love everything about the sound quality and not needing to EQ the AirPod Pros 2. However, did go in and remove a little bit of the low end on the XM5s. I love bass. I mean, I listen to all kinds of music and I love bass. I just don't love how Sony do it. I don't like it. I feel like it's forced. I think they kind of just put that low end down your throat a little bit. Just my opinion. I'm sorry if I upset anyone there with that opinion. Both of these headphones have a voice assistant. The XM5, it's with Alexa. The AirPod Pro 2, obviously you've got Siri. A lot can be said about the two. I'm not going to get into that debate. I don't really use either. However, it does exist on both. Something to note, if you go the XM5 route and you are a Android or iPhone user and you dictate and things like that with the microphone in your headphones, the XM5s do a great job on iOS with Siri. They will dictate, they pick up really clear, and I've had no problems there. So something to take into consideration. While natively the XM5s don't work with Siri voice assistant, they do work for a lot of Siri's functions once you're in Siri. So dictation, talk to text, stuff like that. XM5s, fantastic. On the other hand, you've got the Airpods, which fully integrate with Siri, so you can tell it to do whatever your digital assistant will go and do, and it will do it just fine. It will work as expected. Let's talk a little bit about portability of these. You've got, little plastic case. You can literally chuck it in your pocket, away you go. The XM5s, they have a pretty serious drawback, especially compared to their previous generation. This is the entire range of movement you have with these headphones. That's it. They do not bend. They do not fold. This is it. So this is as small as you can make your XM5s. If you're going to travel, you do a lot of, if you're buying these for airplane travel to get rid of the airplane noise, they come with this case. You put the headphones in this case. They, again, no folding, no, like that. No folding, no compactness. It's just this pretty large, cumbersome, if you're going to chuck it in your bag, it's huge. So not as convenient to travel, move around with the XM5s. Okay, so let's wrap this one up real quick. If I could go back in time and I was limited by budget, I could only pick one pair of headphones. Which would I choose? Well, for me, it's always going to be the AirPod Pros 2. There are so many reasons why I think even today, even in 2024, these are still the best headphones ever for me. Price, the convenience, the battery life, the ANC, the transparency, everything about these headphones. The AirPod Pro 2 is, for me, best in class. and you can pick these up again, renewed in perfect condition on Amazon for about 150 bucks. So half the price of the XM5s. You're going to get basically exactly the same features minus the high-res audio LDAC. Everything else is almost identical. These are going to work in your Apple ecosystem if you're an Apple user seamlessly. They also work great on Android. I originally purchased these when I was a Google Pixel user. I did a whole video on why I switched from Android and Windows PC over to Mac and iOS with the iPhone. If you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description. Overall, I think the Sony XM5s, these are truly, great headphones. They really are best in class for over-ear, noise cancelling, high quality, great sounding, incredibly comfortable headphones. However, if you could only get one, again, I would pick the Airpods. I would pick the Airpods over any headphone on the market. To me, they're just the best things that were ever made. They were the reason I switched from everything being Android and Windows over to Mac and iOS. They are just that good for me. So that's been my review or overview of these two headphones, why I would choose the AirPod Pros in this day and age. And so I hope this video was helpful, useful. If you have any questions about either, feel free to let me know in the comments. We are almost at 100 subscribers. I'm very excited. If you could help me get there, click that subscribe button. That would be fantastic. I would appreciate that so much. In the meantime, I've been UK. You've been fantastic. I'll see you in the next one.